Hey everybody. Okay, just got a little button here to press. All right. Perfect. Hello everybody, Spiritual Events Directory. Okay, just give me a few minutes while I share this video around, and I just want to say thank you to Sarah for having me on, and to Spiritual Events Directory. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be here, and this is my new Sunday night spot, and we're going to have some fun. So I just need to get to my video here. Okay, so I've got it here so I can see the comments, hopefully. Hey Deb, hi Deb. How are you? How are you? All right, so tonight we are talking about hey Antoinette. Tonight we're talking about unlocking your abundance energy, and we're going to talk about relationships. Last week we were talking more about money. Hey Haley. This week we're going to talk about relationships. So what I'm going to do is just talk for a few minutes about that, and then I'm just going to see in the comments anyone who's having some issues with relationships that you have a question about, and I am going to invite a couple of people to come on live if you can on your phone. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So if I do invite you on live, I will invite you on, and you have to have your phone in long ways, okay? Otherwise it won't let you on. Hey Jonita. So I am going to invite a few people on live tonight, and I'm just going to talk to you one-on-one on what your block might be in your current relationship or in finding a new relationship. So you know, when we think of abundance, we don't always relate that to relationships, but our overall abundance energy really relates to how valuable we feel, what value we place in ourselves, how worthy we feel, our self-love, how we feel about ourselves. And that abundance mindset goes and infiltrates all areas of our life, and including relationships. So it's often, you know, you hear abundance, the first thing you think of is a money or more things, or, you know, an abundance of things. But abundance is your general sense of well-being, right? And it's we really are innately abundant as souls or energy here in this human body. And we know that when we are born, we know that up to probably the age of 2 or 3, and then we start getting programmed from society as a human that we are not that innate abundance. Now, it really does relate to all areas, but depending on your upbringing and on your circumstances over your lifetime, it will relate to different areas more strongly. And in regards to relationships, you know, that energy there with your relationships, if you really have a look over time with your relationships, you'd probably see a lot of repeating patterns. But it comes down to, you know, how you feel about yourself, really is what it comes down to. And I was listening to Muji today on YouTube. I don't know if you know him or follow him. But, you know, he says to people, and I'm similar when I'm working with people, I don't want to talk about your problem. I want to talk about you, because in essence, it's your abundant energy or lack thereof that is resisting anything in your life. And your problem is really just the external validation that there's something wrong in here. So if you do come on live tonight, I won't be talking about your problem as such. I will be asking you different questions about why you feel you're blocking it. So that's really the gist of it. It's really not to do with anyone else except for you. All right. Hayley, can that include your relationship with a place, for example, employment? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So relationships are not just the romantic type. It's your relationship with your work, with your colleagues, your acquaintances, friends, family. There's absolutely, I mean, you could have absolutely amazing relationships with family and friends, but all of your ones at work absolutely suck. So yeah, absolutely, Hayley, it includes that too. Yes. All right, let me see. So yeah, so who has Hayley, why don't we start with you? Tell me, is it your actual, Hayley, is it your actual employment that you don't feel abundant with, or is it the people there? What is actually happening there? What do you feel that is out of alignment for you there, Hayley? And I'm happy to bring you on live if you'd like to, Hayley. Let me... oh, you're not coming up as one of my viewers. I don't know why. Why is that? Interesting. Okay. I don't know why that is. But Hayley, yeah, is it the people at work, or is it oh, you work in government? So it's the actual workplace? Is it the relationship to the energy there? See if you can invite yourself on, Hayley. I can't see you here in my viewers list, so I don't know. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Beautiful. Make sure. Otherwise it won't allow you. Hey, Christine. All right, so we'll just wait for Hayley to come on. All right, Hayley, what happened? You got kicked out. All right, let's try again. You need to have your phone sideways, Hayley, otherwise it won't allow you to be added because my phone is sideways.
Hello.
Oh, hey there.
Okay.
Oh, you've got...
Oh. Okay, so I'm upside down, but I can hear you. Hello.
Just turn it around a little bit. The other way.
That way?
Yeah.
Oh.
Beautiful. Yay.
Oh, we good? Okay. That's my daughter. She wanted to say hello. Hello, everyone.
Oh,
just
awesome.
quietly. Okay, so I'm
Awesome. So, Hayley, you're in government?
I am. So without giving too much away, I work in, I guess, the equivalent of what is almost like a correctional environment. So the environment can be quite, I'm going to use the word toxic. There's a lot of what I would say perceived injustice. So there's a lot of things that are out of our control due to policy, etc. And we deal with people, and things aren't always just from, you know, decision making and whatever. So for me, there's a lot of things that I see that morally I'm very like I'm struggling with. It's causing me even some medical problems because there's a lot of things happening that I can't control. It's not really even necessarily for me to control, but it's about how I deal with that on the day to day. And it's happening in and around me, but you just kind of have to deal with it. So for me, that's
it's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I've worked with quite a few people in government or in the hospital system or even in the education system, and there is a lot of toxic environment around. And unfortunately, you know, if you haven't got the financial backing to just leave, you have to still go. So I guess the question is, how do you deal with that and look after yourself and nurture yourself while you're in that environment? And you know, you can't change the environment and you can't change people, but what you can change is how you show up for yourself. And your health and your joy and your happiness is far more important than being in a battle that you can't win at work there. And you know, when you're in, you've got to also think about it like this: when even in that toxic environment where you feel like you can't make a difference, you just being in your beautiful, loving energy will actually make a difference.
Okay.
Right? It'll be an unseen difference.
Yeah.
Like, it won't be visible. But, you know, if you're in that internal battle and also with a battle with the external, that energy is not helping either. And that's actually making you sick because you're taking it all on.
Yeah, lots of issues. So even through, so I'm very big on, like, I'm actively seeking to move away from the environment, but I want to do that based on merit. So at the moment, I am applying, but there's obviously a block because I'm like absolutely progressing and making it through, but not successful in the final end. So there's something like people are going, yep, she's clearly a candidate. You go, and then it's not successful, or there's so many other people that, you know, are better than you. So for me, it's about living in that environment while I actively seek to get out of it until that block is cleared, and then hopefully I've got things coming up again.
And the job that you're going for, is there something about that is scaring you?
At the moment, it's looking at boundaries, because so many environments I've worked in, there's been, and even personally, there's been lots of blurred boundaries. So it's about finding something where the boundaries are very clear and I can go, oh, these are the boundaries, this is non-negotiable, I'm not willing to bend on this, etc. So perhaps I'm projecting a little bit of, I'm scared it's going to be the same, even though it's similar industries. Maybe I'm scared it's the same.
Is. And on some level, you're probably thinking, well, I'm going out of one fire into another, and I may as well stay in the familiar fire. And so there's that fear within you. But once again, it really comes down to you and bringing all your energy into you. And it takes effort. You know, it takes a daily routine of practice to get into that mental state. So, you know, having something in the car that's motivating you or inspiring you, something when you wake up in the morning that fills you with joy, something, you know, it's a really constant asking of yourself, how can I feel joy right now? And to be in that energy, because then firstly your health will improve. Right? But secondly, you won't be affected by the external there at work. And when we are caught up in all that, we really, especially when we're sensitive and we're empathic, we tend to take all that energy on, and it's not helping you and it's not helping them. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to get yourself in the present moment as often as you can. How can I feel good right now? And even if you're in the middle of that awful situation at work, you can still take yourself off to the loo for 2 minutes, do a couple of deep breaths, or go outside on the grass. How can I feel really good right now? I'm just going to close my eyes and take a couple of deep breaths and get present. And just that, it takes a bit of effort to start with, but eventually that will just be coming really easy for you, and so that you are in the moment, and then no matter what is happening around you at that work, it won't affect you, because you'll be able to see it like from a witnessing point of view, not from a personal point of view. So you'll kind of feel like you're there, but you're feeling really good, and you're kind of looking around going, wow, isn't that interesting what everyone's doing? It'll be like a movie playing out, and you'll be able to step out of it personally.
And out of perspective,
and out of it from the emotional perspective. Now, that doesn't change what's going on, but it allows you to feel better for all of those hours in the day that you're there. Right? And now with the boundaries, that will also allow you to be in your power when it comes to boundaries. And really with those interviews, it's, you know, if you can flip the tables there, and instead of you trying to prove that you're good enough for the position, it's really about, it's more about you interviewing them. Is your position correct for me? Right? It's a different mindset. And when you go into the interview kind of asking questions so that you know what the boundaries are, so that you know that if it's a fit for you, then that's a different energy than going in and trying to sell yourself to a job hoping they will think you're good enough.
Cool.
It's different energy. So if you go in more like that and just get really clear on what your boundaries are, what is it that you want, and what sort of environment, and then when you go into these interviews, you're just kind of in your head going, oh yeah, that ticks the box, oh yeah, that ticks the box, that one does, and then you're kind of interviewing them.
That's good advice, thank you.
And then when it feels right for you, you won't have any fear about it. You'll go, yep, that's the one. And then all the blocks will go and you'll probably get that one.
Okay.
Because there'll be no fear. So try that.
I will, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure.
Thank you, good luck.
Right. I'll bump you out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. There we go. I did this the other day and pressed the wrong button and ended the whole video. So anyway, I've got it worked out now. Hi, Anne. How are you? All right. So, you know, abundant relationships really are in all areas. So that was really good to talk about the work area as well. But ultimately, it really does come down to you, how you feel about yourself. So we'll talk about some other relationships now too. I just can't see all the comments. Okay, does anyone have a question about anything to do with relationships? And I will try to help you, and then you can come on live if you want to. Hey, Charlotte. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thanks, Christine. You know, it is really difficult when you kind of have to show up in environments or in relationships that don't feel right for you, and you really don't have any choice in that moment, and you have to kind of show up. But you do have a choice about how you feel, and this is really the juice of the matter, really, because you do have a choice in how you feel every moment. And hey, Lisa, I would love to know if my 21-year marriage can be saved. Well, that probably depends on what the issue is with it, Lisa. So, a relationship with yourself when you have a serious allergy that affects your social life. Georgina, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. Do you want to hop on live, Georgina? You feeling up to it? I'd love to talk to you about that. Yeah, Georgina, let me know. Let me know if you want to pop on live, and I'll add you. Lisa, we're still married and so complicated, I think partly because of beliefs. I just don't know if we're going to be able to save if we just coast through life. Oh, awesome, Georgina. Yeah, pop on live and I'll add you. I think you need to press. I can't see you there, so you'll need to do a request to come on, Georgina, and we'll talk about that. Lisa, really, I feel there's a lack of communication there for you and your partner because you're just coasting through life. You really need to have some more open communication about specifics there. Because you've obviously, in 21 years, your energy will be totally different than what it was in the beginning or what it was. Oh, I don't know if you can do it on a laptop. It has to be on a phone, Georgina. Yeah, it's got to be on phone. So Lisa, yeah, it's really about communication there. And you know, no matter how nervous you are about the outcome of that, you know, your will or your willingness to create a spark again in the marriage comes from communication. So that really, oh, Nikki, hey Nikki, what question have you got, Nikki? So that's really yeah. So that's really what I would do. Yeah, you really need to communicate, and I would just have a really open conversation together, and see if you can move forward that way. That's really the first step. Georgina, no, I don't think it would do it on a pad. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You can try, but I'm not sure. Oh, Vicky, congratulations. About to meet a man that you're in love with. Oh, that's exciting. Nice, nice, nice. So someone just joined, but I'm not quite sure what you want to talk about. Okay, let me see. Nikki. All right, let me see. Nikki, what your question is. Oh, some guidance around your daughter. Okay, Nikki, awesome. We'll wait for you to come on. Oh, Lisa, I wouldn't be able to tell you his issues. That's something that he will have to be open with to you. And if he's too fearful to do that, it's really going to be up to you to really, you know, let him know your issues and let him know that he's in a safe environment to open up to you as well. That's really the first step. Perhaps try counseling. Perhaps try counseling as well. If you guys really want to save the marriage, that would be a great step as well. Yeah, so. All right, Nikki, what happened? You must have had your phone around the wrong way. Turn your phone around sideways, Nikki, and then it will add you. Oh, you're welcome, Lisa. You're welcome. Nikki. Okay. Who else have we got here? Oh, there we go. Nikki. Hey, how you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you, Trish?
Oh, good.
That's
so
good.
What's happening? Are you having like a bit of a strained relationship with your daughter or something?
Yeah. 6 months since sorry. It had been 6 months since I'd sort of spent any time with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be hard today too on Mother's Day, but you could have, you hope you've sent out some beautiful loving energy for her.
Have actually, like, so it was 6 months Friday. She did actually have a couple of nights here with me over the weekend, but, you know, still very strained. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's difficult in those situations because it's so emotional, and you know, you can really get caught up in the emotion of it. But looking at the facts will allow you to get out of that emotional state, right? And so so probably don't want to get into it too deeply here about what happened, but when you get into that those depths of sadness, because I really feel that you really get into that, and it really you don't know what to do, and then it's going over what I did, or what she did, or what was said, or what could have been done, or, you know, as a mother, how can I fix this, right? And you know, that gets very painful and very hurtful. But it's really wise to step out of that if you can, and just look at the facts. And anything that is constantly going through your head, please ask yourself if it's true, because sometimes we have this thing going on in our head that isn't even true, right? We've got a perception of it, and they've got a perception of it. And everybody's entitled to their own perception, because we all see things through our own idea of who we are and who everyone else is. So we've all got our own perception of things. Now, and this happens, this is how we end up with a lot of our beliefs, you know, through childhood. Something will happen, we'll get a belief about it, and then we carry that through our whole adulthood, that we weren't wanted, or that we weren't good enough, or that we couldn't draw, or we couldn't say what was on our mind, whatever, right? We get one idea of it and we stick with it, but what actually happened might have been something else. Now, I'm not saying that's true in this case, but what I'm saying is, if you can get yourself out of that pain and really just look at the facts, and you've also got to kind of look, you can't change other people, and if your daughter isn't ready to do the work as well, then it's not going to happen right now. And you know, that you might have to be okay with that as well, and just be there, and just be open whenever she wants to come, or be, you know, send little notes or whatever, letting her know that you're always there for her when she's ready. The door's always open. And that will actually already give you a feeling of, you know, having that loving relationship back again, even though there's still some tension. Because it's the wanting of something else that brings the hurt. It's the wanting of something else. So, you know, right here, right now, I'm sure she loves you, but there's probably some issues that both of you are trying to sort out. Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that she came and stayed for a couple of days was great. That's really good.
Yeah. It was nice.
Yeah. Do you think that it's getting closer to the time when she'll talk about it?
No, she's a very closed book. Yeah. A lot to do with the separation. Yeah.
So, how old is she?
Nearly 17.
Okay. Well, she's going through all that teenage hormone stuff too. Like life's pretty hard at 17, no matter what else is going on around you, right? So
Yeah.
give her a little bit of time. Just let her know that you're there all the time, and you, rather than being caught up in that hurt and that pain all the time, try to try to, get in that loving energy of thinking about, some beautiful times you had together. Get in that energy rather than in the pain energy, because the pain energy won't be helping you. And it won't be helping the energy altogether between you either. So try to, let her know from your end, as I'm sure you do, that the door's always open. She can come whenever. And from an energetic level, just keep sending her out love. And look, seriously, even if she was still at home, she might not be talking to you, because at 17, that's what happens. Right?
Yeah.
Me and my daughter was very strange for 3 or 4 years, so it's a difficult time. But at 17, you're kind of on the ending of it.
Yeah.
And she'll be working out who she is and what she wants to do, and she'll be working out her own stuff too. So there's probably a lot of stuff that you might be imagining is bigger than it is. So bring it all back in and just examine what you're worrying about, and ask yourself, is it really true to that extent? And just be patient. I think things will work out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. And just try to be patient, but try to keep that good energy going within yourself, because you don't want to get ill from the worry or anything like that. So
yeah. How do you suggest getting into that loving energy?
Well, you could sit there right now and just think about the day when she was born. You could think about birthday party. You could think about an adventure you went on together. You could just get a photo and look at her. I mean, that gets you into that loving energy. Yeah. Because you can just, I mean, the way you feel when you're with someone, you can feel that when you're not with them too.
Yeah.
Right? It's a choice. You just have to choose to remember those beautiful feelings of that loving energy and step yourself into that a bit more often. That will not only help you, but it helps the energetic connection between you as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Trish. I appreciate it. Thanks. Lovely to see you.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming on. It's very brave coming on live.
I'm a friend of Stephanie Tannick.
Oh, awesome.
You've probably spoken to you about me before. Yeah. So
awesome.
Thank
so
you.
Awesome. Yeah. Good luck.
Thanks, Phil. Bye-bye.
See you. All right. Who else have we got here? Now I just want to share this around too. I didn't end up sharing it. So let me just share this around. So we've got lots of people watching. All right. I'm going to share it there. What other questions have we got? Oh, yes. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Yes, I hope you all had a good day. Hello, Wayna. All the way from New Zealand. Yeah, I hope I said that right. Wayna. All right. Do we have any other questions about relationships? And, if you're not feeling abundant in that area, and I am going to just talk about that a little bit more in a moment. I'm just going to share this to one of my pages. Okay. Oh, Georgina. Yay. All right. So make sure your phone's sideways, Georgina, or if you're on your had, whatever ended up working for you. Okay, so we'll wait for Georgina to come on. Hey, Shelley, happy Mother's Day to you. So just while we're waiting for Georgina, the other thing I want to say about abundance in relationships, it all, as I said before, it all starts with you. Now, if you are looking for someone to come in to your life and it hasn't happened yet, try to have a look at where you think the blocks might be. Now, you know, sometimes they're really hidden. Sometimes they're really hidden. I remember a year or so back, I had this epiphany because I'd kind of been blocking relationships, right? Or romantic relationships, because like men don't even show up in my vision, right? And anyway, I uncovered, I had this aha moment that, you know, one of my things that I'm worried about is what if I can't live with someone again, right? What if I fall in love, open my heart, and then I can't live with this person? So this block, I'm like 20 steps ahead, right? Freaking out about this, which is on an energetic level, blocking anyone coming in. So we have to look at self. You have to look at self, and you have to look at where you're blocking it. What are your fears? If someone came into your life right now, what fears are there? You have to look at that, because that is actually blocking. All right, what have we got here? Is it always our blocks or the potential partners? It's never anybody else except for us, Monica. Never anybody except for us. Not working, Georgina? Oh, bugger. I might send you a message later and try to answer that for you. Monica, yes, it's never about anybody else. When we direct blame or expect somebody else to change for us to feel better, we will never feel better, or it will be temporary. It's never about anybody else except for us. Okay, and as Byron Katie says, I'm the only one that can create a happy marriage. It's always about ourselves, because this life is a movie we're running, and the players are in it because we've called them in. So it's never about anybody else, it's about us. All right, what else have we got here? Janet, been in a long distance relationship 13 years. What can you see in the outcome? Gosh, Janet, that is a long time. 13 years. Wow. So Janet, I want to answer that. What do you think the outcome is, Janet? What do you think the outcome is? Because a long distance relationship for 13 years, here's the first thing that pops into my head, that one of you is scared of commitment, right? That's why there's the long distance. So really, what is the outcome that you want, Janet? That's really what I want to ask you. And if your outcome is to be together, then whose fear is it that is keeping you apart? Is it your fear that's keeping this distance, or is it his fear? And if it's his fear that's keeping the distance, is that something that you can discuss and help him overcome? Is he willing to overcome that? So that's what I want to ask you, Janet. What outcome do you want? Monica, thank you. In that case, my unforgiveness and mistrust for past experiences are my relationship blocks. Yeah, absolutely. So Monica, with past relationships, you need to see the blessings in them. There is blessings in everything. You have to see the blessings in them, because past relationships showed up to show you a part of yourself. So, you know, this is something that this is my passion, working with people with. So check out the links in the description box, Monica, and book in for a session with me, because I would love to help you with that. That's really what I love doing. But what you need to do is find the blessings in the past relationships so that you can move to the next one. Hey, Lisa. Oh, you're welcome, Janet. You're welcome, Janet. I hope that helped. I hope that helped. So I'm just going to put a... all right. So I'm just going to put a pinned comment here with all my links. If you guys want to book in a session with me, or if you want to, there it is there, and I'm just going to pin it. I've also got a YouTube channel. I'd love you to go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do weekly, monthly, and yearly readings. I've got the link there in the pinned comment, and I've also got a 5-day free Stop Self-Sabotage Challenge happening next Monday, and the link for that is there too. So if you feel any of these relationship questions, Janet, Monica, anybody else who's put up a comment, please come and join the challenge, because you'll be able to move forward from these blocks and anything that you're sabotaging yourself with, right? It will really help. Okay. Sarah, will my child and myself be safe in our move? I have a week to go on my lease and I don't have a new house to move into. Yeah, I'm not really answering those questions tonight, Sarah. So just have some faith and take some action, and I'm sure it will all work out for you. Nicole, I'm not really doing readings like that either, Nicole. What I want to work on is your blocks. So what is the outcome, once again, that you want for your marriage? What is the outcome? Have you written it down? Have you thought about it? Have you felt into it? It's up to you. You've got the power to create a certain outcome for your marriage. So same as Janet, what is the outcome that you want there, Nicole? Okay. All right, Jody. I've been single for 15 years. I know I have a fear of getting hurt, but I feel like I'm in a place where I'm ready to be vulnerable. Awesome. So if you're ready, Jody, what are the fears around that? Do you want to come on live, Jody? Feel free. Just send me an invite to come on live, and you can hop on live and I'll talk to you. Yeah. Layla, can you see what is blocking my happiness and my financial circumstances? I can't see that, Layla, but I will talk to you about it. What do you think's blocking it? What do you think's blocking it, Layla? Nothing blocks our happiness, by the way. That's a choice. We can choose to be happy or choose not to be happy. So my question to you, Layla, is why are you choosing not to be happy? Why are you choosing that? You can choose to be happy. So, Jody, how do you know when you've worked through your block? Well, he'll show up. It's simple. Or you'll be happy either way, whether he shows up or not. Layla, I'm not sure. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that this is you, but many years ago, I got called out as being a victim. And, oh, who's this? Jody. And I thought, what you talking about? I'm not a victim. But you know what? I was. I was blaming everybody else around me for my unhappiness. And you know what I did? I left the state and moved and sold everything to get away from everybody who was making me unhappy. And then 6 months or a year later, I'm in a house by myself with no one around, and I'm still miserable. And I figured it out, right? I'm the only one that can create happiness within me. And we are the only ones, and we have a choice. We have a choice right now whether we choose to be happy or not. And you might say, well, how can I be happy when this is happening? Well, you know what? You can be happy no matter what is happening around you. So just have a little think about that. Hey, Jody.
Hi.
Hey. Jody, I forgot your block. Oh, that's around your next relationship.
Yeah, I've been very hurt in the past. And I think I got to a point where I had my son. I was like, right, I think I'm ready to work on myself. I'm not going to get into a relationship because I feel lonely. I'm going to learn to make myself happy because I can't put my happiness into anybody else. I think that's...
Yeah, because you know when you
make myself happy. Yeah.
Well, you know, when you do that, when you put your happiness into other people's hands, you are always disappointed.
Absolutely,
yeah. Always. Because they will not be able to keep it up. It's a big responsibility for someone else to make you happy.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want someone in your life that depended on you making them happy either. So
no,
it goes both ways. So yeah, definitely be in that energy, because the person that you will attract then also is in that energy of keeping their own happiness going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's two happy people coming together, right?
Yeah.
In that energy, rather than you being happy and attracting someone who just wants you to make them happy, or you waiting for someone to make you happy. So that's really great energy. So if you're in that energy, you will attract someone of the same
I feel like I've got to the point where I'm so independent now, and I'm so happy in my own little bubble that I'm almost got this fear is I don't want to break what I've already made for myself, the world that I've made for myself. I'm very happy. Like, how do I it's like I'm now, the fear's gone the other way. One is if I get attached to someone or I like someone and
it ruins all my happiness.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. So you need to make some room for a new person. So what I want you to do is write down a list of how it will feel when you've got a partner. And don't get 20 steps ahead like I was. Like, oh my God, what if I meet someone and then, you know, we've got to move, or, you know, they ruin my house, or, you know, whatever, because it's 20 steps ahead. You can meet someone and date them for 6 months, right? You don't have to move in right away, right?
Yeah.
So what I would do is write a list of how you'll feel. So just get into that dream state and kind of go, wow, it's going to feel really beautiful, you know, when and it needs to be present tense. So write down the list. It feels so beautiful in the morning when he always gives me a cuddle before he goes to work. It feels really special when he asks me if I can bring anything home on the way home from work. I feel really nurtured when he'll just give me a foot massage while we're watching TV. It's all those little things that you want to feel in a relationship that you can start dreaming about. And then what I would do is actually make room in the house. So clean out and this is not to say he's going to move in 5 minutes, right? But energetically, it just allows you to create space for a man to come in. Clean out one of the drawers or cupboards in your bathroom, because if someone was living there, they would need space, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Put a bit of space in your cupboard for someone. I mean, it's just really great feng shui energy to create space for someone. And just write that list. And I kind of feel you're in the energy where someone's just going to show up anyway, right? So
it's like I
think
forget how to flirt. I forget. I don't even realize now. I'm so beyond the point. I don't even know if a guy is looking at me like he's interested, or I don't. It's been. I feel like I've been out of the loop for so long that
yeah,
I don't know what to.
yeah. Well, don't worry, because as soon as you start dreaming about that feeling of what it's going to feel like, you will start noticing. And when this person comes along, don't worry, you will know. You will know, and he will make himself known. So don't panic about those things, but make some room, and hop into that feeling of how it will feel. Like, and maybe the list could be like a year down the track or 2 years down the track, right? How are you feeling in this relationship? And bring those feelings to the fore, and you're really going to meet someone on that beautiful energetic match, which will be really lovely. And it won't just any disturbances to your current domestic situation will flow easily.
Okay.
So don't panic. I feel you're really ready.
I feel like I'm really ready too, but yeah. All right, I'll do that. I'll put that in. Start making room. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Start making room. You're welcome. All right. Hey, Michelle. How you doing? Oh. Okay. Awesome. I haven't cut the broadcast off this time. Okay. You're welcome, Layla. All right. What else do we have? I can't see any other questions. Okay. Georgina, let's try again, Georgina. Okay. Sarah, okay, well, that's good. Well, you go and find somebody who resonates with you more than I do. Hey, Michelle. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, Lorraine, how you going? All right, Georgina, how are we going here? Hopefully it'll work this time. Hopefully it'll work this time. Yeah, and so, in regards to who comes to me for readings, I really usually attract people who are ready to do the inner work and ready to, move forward and actually do some self-inquiry, and not relying on the external, because, you're really giving other people control over you when you're relying on other people to bring your happiness to you. So, it really is a choice to empower yourself to create your own happiness. Oh, Georgina, it still didn't work. Never mind. So, yeah, that's really the biggest message of this series that I'm doing here. And I really want people to take their power back, and not rely on those people around you to make you happy. Now, here's the thing though, when you're looking after your own abundant energy, especially in relationships, any other bonuses, like, when you are in relationship or when you have beautiful relationships, it enhances your happiness. So, oh, Sarah, awesome. So, getting your own peace and your own love and being okay with yourself and attracting someone the same enhances the whole relationship. I don't believe in having someone to complete me, because I am a complete person. I am a complete soul, and so are you. So if you're looking for someone to complete you, then you will always be looking, because nobody will do that. It may feel okay for a little while, but ultimately everybody's on their own journey here, and it's really up to us to find the joy within us, to find that love, to find that happiness within us, because then we actually attract that through other people into our lives, and our life is just enhanced beautifully. Now, any of you here that are watching on the live now or on a replay, if you are caught up in feelings from past relationships, please try to find the blessings in them. Now, it may be a deep dig, right? But there is always blessings in everything. So rather than being fearful of moving forward or thinking that the same thing is going to happen again, have a look for the blessings in those relationships and really be grateful and thankful for them, because this is what you will attract in the next relationship. Then you'll attract those good parts. Oh, thanks, Tara. Beautiful. Yeah, matching energy and creating space. Absolutely. You have to make room. You have to make room for someone. And that's inner work. Absolutely, Sarah. It is inner work. Yeah. And yeah. And here's the thing with inner work, though. You know, sometimes we can't see. So what I do with my psychic abilities and the channels that come into me and the spirit that talks to me, we actually get to the issue, because sometimes we do our own inner work, right? And we work on what we think the problem is. But it's not always the problem. Actually, it's never the problem. So it's always good to have somebody else help you with that, so that you can actually go to the problem. And when we're stuck in the actual problem, we can't find the solutions. You have to actually get outside of the problem, or outside of the issue, to find the solutions. And when you're in that problem yourself, it's very difficult. So, I mean, even I see other people, because sometimes I'm just not getting it, right? I just can't see what the solution is, because I'm so involved in the problem, and you need someone coming in from the outside to say, right, I see the solution, because you're focused on the wrong thing. So that's why. Hey, Anna Marie, good evening. So let me just chew these comments up again. Yeah, so thank you to everybody who came on live tonight. It was very brave. I could have gone a lot deeper into some of those readings, but you know, when it's when it's a live like that, you know, that sometimes going deeper gets a bit more personal, and the tears start, and the breakthroughs happen. So I didn't want to go that far with those readings, and I really honor you guys for showing up and agreeing to come on live. So thank you, and I hope the advice that I gave you will help a little bit. And thank you for everybody else who wrote questions in. Tara, I'm wanting to up sticks and move country. It's a challenge to have the courage to follow this calling. It's a place I went recently and felt totally aligned there. Yeah, I would really write down what your fears are about that too, Tara, because you know, I had no fear at all when I sold my business, sold my house, left the state and started again. I had no fear at all, because the place where I was in, not the actual house or the city, but the place I was in emotionally, was more scary than moving. So you might get to that place as well, but really just have a think about why it is you're moving, and what's the worst thing that could happen if it didn't work out, because that's usually the fear. That's usually the fear. What's the worst thing that could happen if it didn't work out? You can always come back, right? So just have a think about that. You're welcome, Jody. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, who else have we got here? Anne-Marie, I'm seeing signs of past, should acted on it. Okay, so if we're living in the past, what we should have done, what we shouldn't have done, you're in the past. You're going to remain in that pain, in that remorse, in that regret, and it's not serving you at all. So bring yourself to the present right now. What can you do right now? And not even a should, right? There's no shoulds. That should be out of your, I just said it then, out of your vocabulary. What can you do right now, Anne-Marie, to feel good? If you are regretting something that you didn't do, you can do it now. What is it you can do right now? Focusing on the past will keep us in pain. Focusing on a future that hasn't happened yet will keep us in pain. Suffering is optional in this life. Seriously, suffering is optional. Stay in the present. Thank you. Oh, Georgina. All right, let's try one more time and then I've got to wrap it up. Let's try one more time with you, Georgina. See how we go. Make sure your phone is sideways. Gosh, it takes so long to click over when somebody's trying to get on. So if I'm just staring there into space, guys, it's because I'm waiting. I can see this little flashing, adding. Oh dear. All right. Doesn't look like it's going to work, Georgina. So, no, not working. Oh, what a shame. Anyway, maybe next time. So I will be back next week talking about abundance and in some area, or I might even just do general. But once again, I would invite people to come and ask some questions, and if you'd like to hop on live with me, you're more than welcome. That's been fun doing those little mini readings, and if you'd like something a bit more in-depth where I can really go in a little bit deeper and find out what the issue is, please check out the links and book in with me that way. Check out my YouTube channel, and please come along to the Stop Self-Sabotage Challenge. It will be, it's really powerful. It's a really powerful 5 days, and you will notice a change. Okay, awesome. Sorry, Georgina, let's try it next time. Thank you, everybody. I've got to go. Have a great week, and bye.